Okay, so the next step will be to connect the MSP432 to the H Impulse portal, correct? So the first thing you need to do is okay, you have already logged in into the H Impulse and created your project, correct? And if you click on the dashboard here, it will give you an overview, kind of a snapshot of what is your project about. Technically, it's nothing because you just created a project and, like I said, 0% complete. If you go into the devices, for now, you should not see anything here. It should be blank. So you need to connect a device to this portal. To do that, you open up your Arduino IDE. Hopefully, you have configured it correctly. Then you click on Tools. Make sure that you choose the board under Energia, the red launch pad. Pertaining the COM port, it depends on your PC. For my case, I choose COM4. Why COM4? If you go open a device manager, you'll see that there's two COM ports here. Both of them are for the MSP432. For my case, not for my case, you should choose the one which is under application and user UART, which is for my case is COM4. You can choose COM3, but you might have problems later on. So I would advise you to choose the application / user UART. In my case, it's COM4. For your case, you need to check on that. Okay. So once you choose that, this is a code that you will download onto the Arduino. What does this code do? This code will collect the data from the sensor that you want to do, and then we will send it to the serial communication onto your PC. Your PC will then have a software script that will then forward it to the H Impulse. Okay. So let's first thing first is let's compile and upload this code onto the MSP432. It will take a little bit of time. Note a few things. One is the push button, which is 73. What does 73 means? While this guy is complete, I'll show it to you. If you realize, if you go to, if you check the specs for the launchpad for the MSP432 for the Energia, you realize that push 1 is pin number 73 and push 1 is your S1 here. So S1 is your push 1, which is pin number 73. If you're going to use push 2, you have to use pin number 74. Okay. And if you want to use the LED for whatever reason, then you can use 75, 76. So these are the pins that you're going to use that maps in the Energia. So the numbering is a little bit different. Okay. Take note of that. So 73, then this is the communication that you have between the MSP432 and the PC itself. Okay, the serial port. So the push button is the pin. So you configuring your S1 as a pull up. Then what you're gonna do is I'm gonna do I will collect. So in the loops function, will for every iteration, I will actually collect the digital read from the push button, meaning that I'll find out whether is it press or not press, high or low. Okay, and I will, so it's ones or zeros, then I'll print it out to the screen, to the console screen, which means that the MSP432 will constantly send the button press to the PC console at a fixed interval, and the interval is calculated through here. Okay, for this case, just leave it as a default thing. Okay, once you have done this, you check whether you have finished uploading the code. It's done. So the next thing you need to do is actually you need to connect. So now you have the code that will collect your sensor data, then you will send it to the portal, to the H Impulse portal. The next thing you need to do is to actually connect the MSP432, the PC, to the portal itself. So now you have done from the MSP432 to the MSP432 to the portal. Let me open up an image for you. Hold on. Download. Oh, great. Let me just show you. Give me a moment. This one. So just to make it clear, so the Arduino, the code that you downloaded just now was called a data forwarder. It will forward whatever data here, for our case will be the S1, to the serial communication by printing it out, and it's collecting it on the laptop. Now we want to create a script here, or to enable a daemon script here that will push this data onto the internet here, onto the portal here. Okay, so we are trying to do this part here now. So what's going to happen is you're supposed to, and this is actually the what do you call that, the H Impulse CLI. Okay, so I've already installed it for you. So hopefully, if you're not using my my VM image, I hope you have configured your H Impulse command line correctly. The command you have to use is actually H Impulse data forwarder. Okay, the reason why I'm using clean is because I want to reset my account. So because each time you need to connect to a particular thing, so you only do a clean for the first time, else you do it without the clean tag. Okay, so the first thing they'll ask you is to log in. Log in to what? Your H Impulse. Remember, when you create an account in the H Impulse, there's a login ID and password. You need to use the same ID and password here. So you go to for my case, I registered to this. Then it will ask you for your password. Okay, so then you ask you which COM port you connected to. Okay, but at this point of time, your MSP432 should have been connected to your PC, and it should be powered up already, and you should already know what the COM port. So now you have 3 or 4, correct? Take note, you are looking at this arrow here. Okay, so you want to choose COM4. Okay, press enter, then it will connect to COM4. Then you will, if you notice that it will pull out all the projects that you have in your H Impulse portal. So in our case, we just created a button presser, correct? So we will choose that project. Then it will connect to it. So then it will ask you, what is the sensor access detected? So this is the label that you want to give to the data that is being forwarded to the portal. Okay, so you in our case is the S1 button, so you're going to put it as S1. You can name it anything you want. It's just a label. Okay, if you notice, if you go to the portal under the devices, you will see that it pops up here. Then they ask you what is the name you want to give to the to your MSP432. You can give it any name you want. For my case, I'm going to put it as MSP432. Okay, so once you do that, automatically now you're already your MSP432 is connected to this script, and this script is now connected to your portal itself. And if you notice, if you go to the portal, you see that there's a green light here, and it's connected using the S1, the label S1. The data folder is the software that you that is running on your laptop or PC, and your name itself. The name here will update itself accordingly after a while. If you refresh it, yeah, it's changed to MSP432 as you labeled it earlier. Okay, so that is how you, so now what happened is that you have your code running on the MSP432 that can be forwarded forwarded to the laptop. The laptop will run the script, which is this one. So let the script run, and this script will collect any data from the COM4 port, because it's the MSP432 is throwing data through the COM port, correct? It will collect the data from the COM4 and it will forward it to the H Impulse, which is this portal here, and specifically this H Impulse project, which is a button presser that we created. As we can see here, is green light, meaning that it's ready to collect the data. Okay, so from that, I will stop the video here, and the next video will show you how do you start collecting the data itself on the portal and training them. Okay, yep, see you in the next video. Bye bye.